funny.
He's straight like, I'm rich, bitch.
Oh shit, we're fucking rolling. Welcome to the AFNB Podcast, the podcast dedicated to everything entertainment, music, dedication, motivation, but most of all, celebration. I'm your host, Eric the Voice, and I'd like to welcome you to the very first AFNB Podcast episode. For those who don't know me, I'm Eric Presley. I am an independent filmmaker, motivational influencer, and YouTube content creator from Youngstown, Ohio. And I am here with a very special guest. This man has been one of my filmmaking brothers for how long?
A long time.
Man, introduce yourself, man. Tell the world who you are.
Hello, my name is Evil Dave Johnson. Don't ask where I got that name from, or I'll tell you. I just like would vandalize everything. I live in Sharpsville. It's a long story, but anyway, I live in Sharpsville. I have a 21-year-old daughter. Basically, my life, I take care of her. I've known Eric forever. I love being involved in the movies. I have a little bit of anxiety issues, but I have a lot of life experience. So,
fuck yes, he does.
Yeah.
So, first of all, how you been, man? How we living?
We're living okay. Like I said, it's back to the whole anxiety thing. You know, and it's all like trying new magic tricks and shit like that. They call it treatment. I call it magic.
That is basically what it is, man. Anxiety is a fucking bitch. Like, I've lived with that for I don't know how long. And honestly, like, I've talked to so many people, and there really isn't. Everybody says, like, is there a cure for anxiety? Like, there really fucking isn't. There's no cure.
There's no cure for anything. And I mean,
no, absolutely not.
And I mean, no, I don't want to get into government conspiracies and things like that. But how's Big Pharma going to make money? If they start curing shit, they're not going to make any money.
That's like, yeah, exactly. Like, what is the mystery cure for cancer that everybody's talking about? Like, dude, they're never going to give that out, because if they start curing people, let's say this, you start curing the whole world, like you said, these pharmaceutical companies aren't making no money.
Right. And
hospitals aren't, doctors aren't going to be making any money. Nobody's going to be making any
unless they
money.
take the cure and they jack the price of it like up through the ceiling.
You can't make, right. I always say you can't make money off somebody that's healthy.
No, not at all, man.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
But I mean, back to the anxiety thing, you know, we all know I've had a pretty bad childhood and things like that, bad upbringing.
Yeah.
But, so I feel like with my psychiatrist, she's gotten to the point where she's just thrown shit at the wall. I've been on every fucking medication that you can imagine. It's like I've been in the therapy process for 37 years. I'm 45. Okay, that's a long time. Now, if there's a cure, you think by now I would have gotten it.
I was going to say, yeah, shit, but that long, god damn.
It's because, as always, I tell everybody this, I am a guinea pig.
Yeah.
I am how they make money.
We all are.
I mean,
anybody that's going to doctors, they give any type of medication they put you on, that's basically what you are.
Right. I mean,
in a lot of instances.
They don't care about the things I missed out in life. They don't care, you know.
Now, certain ones, like me, I have hypertension. So the medication that I'm on, yes, it's required, because that's kind of required for me to take for me to stay healthy and to be alive. Because if I don't take that shit, well, it's going to be game over quicker than anything.
How old are you?
39.
Welcome to being over 35.
Hell yeah, man. I'm a few months shy of 40, so I already know it's only going downhill from there. But but for real though, yeah, like with that, it's necessary. Blood pressure is nothing to mess with, because once the thing about hypertension that a lot of people don't know is you never know when you have it.
Yeah.
You never know, because your doctor could ask you, how you feeling? How you feeling? I feel fine. You could feel fine, but the minute you check your blood pressure and like both numbers are in the triple digits, the first thing they're going to tell you, yeah, you need to go to the emergency room. Well, I feel okay. That doesn't matter, man. You're about to have a stroke in 5 seconds. Yeah, and you need to go to a doctor.
And that sucks, because when it comes down to it, any time in life, you can just up and die.
Yep.
And it's scary. I mean, it really is a scary concept.
Hell yeah, it is. Hell yeah, it is.
I mean, I got a really good friend of mine that says as you get older, you need to do what is called life bingo.
Yep.
And see what's wrong with you, because as you get older, there's more shit wrong with you, the more pills you got to take, and as we said, there's no cure.
Hell yeah. Nah, he ain't lying. He's not lying either.
I mean, it really is. I'm like, all right, you know, we have anxiety. I'm like, everybody has that on the card.
That's a natural thing. I think a lot of us, we're all born. That's certain things we're all born with. Anxiety, I feel, is one of them.
Well, it's your natural fight or flight reaction.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it is. But
I had just watched it was on Disney Plus, Inside Out 2. Mm-hmm. One of the characters, because it's a sequel to the first one, the first one deals with the kid's standard emotions like disgust, joy, anger.
Okay.
But this one, Riley is a teenager, and it starts going into like different teenage angst. Like she's developing, like she's, I don't want to say puberty. What do they call it? Like what the fuck they call female? It's
I don't know. Just puberty, man. I don't know.
That's basically what I call it, but I know it's a different name for girls. What is it? Their cycle, the cycle that they're going through.
Something.
But
I think your cycle's your period.
yeah, or whatever. Yeah. I don't have kids, so I don't know.
Oh, you're so lucky. Because no, I love my daughter, and she really does make my life.
Yeah, but one of the new emotions that she has is anxiety, and the way, like, when you watch it, the way the character plays out, it's so accurate. It's so accurate to any type of anxiety that you have. Like, just 1 minute she's calm, 1 minute like you're okay, then next thing you know, the character starts overthinking, like, oh my god, why did I say that? Maybe I should have said that. Maybe I should have did this. Maybe I should have did that. And it's like, yo, that is too spot on.
Well, the thing is too, like,
too spot on, man.
So many disorders lead to one another because you can have that anxiety, then it can lead to bipolar, and then being in your teen years, this was something that really scared me when I was a kid. And with my daughter, is because you start getting that depression shit where you don't understand your own emotions, you don't understand your body, you don't know where you belong, and you really just like, all right, how do I deal with this?
Hell yeah.
And in that age, you're like, you know what, fuck adults, they can't relate.
Yeah. A lot, yeah. Yeah, actually, you know what, you kind of right on that. And I think that's another reason why a lot of, because we were just talking about that with like because I was talking about modern parenting and how nowadays it seems like more and more parents really can't relate that much to their kids anymore.
Well, it's this generation.
You know what I mean?
It's this whole generation because, and I sound like this old person. I feel like I sound like my grandma that raised me, but, when we were young girls outside, we're getting involved, it's riding bikes.
We didn't have so much technology. Like, all we really had, with me growing up, all we had were video games. That was it. And it wasn't like you can go online and play with somebody for like hours and hours.
Right.
You didn't have memory saves. And all we had was Nintendo, Atari, and 4 channels on TV.
Right. And
that was it.
I mean, the level of brain rot was, a lot lower. I mean, play one video game and then spending every waking moment of your life playing these games, social media. I honest to God think social media is a disease.
Yeah,
I mean,
I couldn't disagree with, and I can't disagree with you on that one.
I mean, I tell you, as this generation, social skills, everything else, depression, anxiety, it's just enhancing things. Now, you got to remember, this is off topic a little bit, but there is such thing as good anxiety.
Yeah.
Let's say, you just moved into your apartment, you're like, I got my own place. But at the same time, you're like, oh shit, I got to pay rent.
Hell, you summed up basically the first year of me moving in.
Yeah.
That was basically it. And it still kind of is. I mean, nowadays with everything going up, rent being one of them, every year my rent goes up, like every single year. And that goes up. And when you add that with everything else that's going up, once again, if that shit don't trigger your anxiety, like, how am I going to make ends meet? Like, I'm not living from paycheck to paycheck, but at the same time, I'm kind of crunching more pennies.
Right.
To see, like, okay, this is going to go up. All right, I'm going to have to I can't get this anymore. I can't get that anymore because I got to figure out, like, how am I going to get this?
Or I love, again, I'm on, SSI for, issues I've had through life.
Yeah.
So what they do is they increase the cost of living and they give you a little bit of, a raise in your SSI disability. Leave it the fuck alone. You're just doing the same thing over and over again.
It's the same thing with folks' Social Security.
Yeah. But I mean, like, it's just a never-ending cycle of insanity, if you want to say. All right, cost of living goes up. I get a raise. Cost of living goes up. Why don't you leave it right here?
Right.
Things are only becoming expensive because you're making it that way.
Hell yeah. And I don't think I don't really think they realize that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, like you said, everything is just constantly going up, and it's like nothing's really balancing.
Yeah, I mean,
nothing's really balancing.
I mean,
out.
in the long run, I think that there's no reason to raise the cost of anything. Because if everything just stayed the same, you wouldn't need to raise it. You know what I mean? I know it doesn't, kind of make sense.
Well, no, because we always ask, like, okay, where is all of this going to? Where is all of this tax money going to?
Yeah.
What is the benefit? How are you guys benefiting off of I don't want to say poverty, but I'm going to say poverty. How are you guys benefiting off of that?
Well, I don't know if I read or I watched the thing saying to be in the upper class, you have to be making like $160,000 a year. That is unheard of.
Man.
I mean, especially in the small area that we live in, And again, I don't want to get into politics, but we're nothing. We're just little peanuts. You know,
You can't help but get into politics because, like, everything, if you really look at it, everything really does revolve around it.
Yeah, but I'm kind of doing, you know, out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
Because I have a girlfriend and she's constantly doom scrolling. She's Trump's doing this, Trump's doing that, Trump's doing that. Unless, and again, this is going to sound ignorant of me, unless it is immediately and now directly affecting me, I don't care.
I've been that way for the past 5 elections.
Yeah,
I've been that way.
And I mean, that sounds selfish, but you know what? That's just how it is. I mean, if you drop my SSI right now, I'm going to be fucking mad as a hornet's nest, dude.
Well, that's basically what protecting your own means. I mean, hell, that's the way a lot of us live. That's how I live.
Yeah.
Protect your own, take care of yourself. Make sure you and the people that you care about and taking care of are taken care of.
Right.
Anything else, that don't matter. Whatever's going on outside of my house, that shit does not matter.
And I tell my girlfriend again, she's doom scrolling. Oh my God, Trump's doing this. Oh my God, Trump's doing that. And I go, you need to go with the serenity prayer. And again, I'm not very religious. Accept the things you cannot change.
Facts.
You could sit there and bitch about it till you're blue in the face. Donald Trump doesn't care. No one. None of these people with money. We are, again, peons. We're nothing.
I'm about to say, half the people that voted for him did. And I'll say this to anybody. The past few presidents that we've had, the ones that, whether they're worshipped or whether they're loved or whatever, well, I didn't like them. I voted for them. I'm so glad this, and that. I'm like, let me ask you a question. All these people, and let's include celebrities in there too. All these people that folks are worshiping and looking up to and living precariously through, ask them this question. Do you think any of these people know you?
No.
They don't know you. These folks that you're idolizing, they've never met you. If they met you on the street, they'd walk past you like they didn't know you.
Here's a funny story. They had a toy corner, right? And Danhausen was up there, the wrestler, the AEW wrestler, real nice guy. And I go up to him and I talk to him. And I look at him, I go, look, dude, I said, my name's David Johnson. I have a friend that, and I had a friend that loved you. You know, you entertained him, and he died from COVID. Not, you know, whatever COVID causes, not ever directly the disease.
Yeah.
And, you know, I shake his hand. I said, look, dude, in 5 minutes, you're not going to remember who I am. I mean, I'm just going to be direct with him.
It's the truth.
I mean,
unfortunately, it's the truth.
Unless I kick you in the nuts or something, you're not going to remember who David Johnson was 5 minutes ago.
Oh, yeah.
And you just kind of laugh, but it's true.
Well,
And he gave his autograph to me for nothing. So that shows you a little bit of compassion.
Nah, because you were probably one of the first to walk up to him and not say, because I've noticed this when I've met famous people and like the folks that are usually in line in front of me. Oh, I loved your movies. I love this. I loved you. I love this and that. You were probably one of the first ones that gave him a straight up.
Yeah, I was like, my friend loved you.
Yeah.
And I even told him, I said, my friend will walk around the house and he would do an imitation of you. And I looked at him, I said, it annoyed the fuck out of me. And he started laughing. I mean, he really like Danhausen. So nothing but love and respect. I mean, I went on their, you know, the Toy Con Facebook, and I'm just like, boom, 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 building them up.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah, man.
I mean, a real good guy.
I remember the first time I ever met Tony Todd, rest in peace to Tony Todd.
Yeah,
the first time I ever met him back in 2007, we talked about, you know what we talked about? We talked about his movies for like a split second, and that was only when he was signing my Night of the Living Dead DVD. Because I told him, I was like, this is my favorite performance of yours in your entire career. All we talked about from there on, like we were talking about single parenting because he's a single parent. I told him about my mom. My mom raised me as a single mother.
And that's a neat thing. It's like, I want to see them as the person, as who they are.
And I got this, that's the thing. Like I got to see a human side of a person who I've always seen is just a character.
Right.
You know what I mean? And fun fact about Tony Todd, meeting him, let me tell you something, man. That Candyman voice, there's no auto-tune there.
Yeah, he's real like
that's the thing. Like, go listen to his interviews. He really does. He does sound like that, man. That shit was kind of intimidating at first, but once you meet these larger-than-life people and you realize that they're human just like you.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, that's how they want to be looked at. It's just human. They don't want to be looked at as worship.
Like, you know, you come up to them and just me, if I were famous, this would aggravate the shit out of me. Oh my God, Dave, I love your music. I'm like, man, dude, like, back the fuck down, you know?
Like, how many times you think? How many times have William Shatner met somebody and all they talked about was fucking Star Trek?
Yeah, I mean, you think after a while they get sick of hearing that. Yeah, I mean, you really would.
Yeah.
I mean, depending on how arrogant you know, does take a level.
I've heard things about Shatner, like,
I heard he's an asshole. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you.
I have too, yeah. Like, I'm not going to say that he is, because I've never met him.
Yeah, me neither.
It's the same with The Rock. I've heard so many people that have met The Rock say he's one of the biggest dickheads, and it's like, well, shit, I don't know the dude personally. I can't talk shit about him.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, I could go back to meeting Dan Housen, and I left there, and I'm not going to lie, I left there in tears. I'm like, wow, I can't believe what a fucking. I mean, he quit doing the voice. He was straight like, okay, Dave, I'm like, damn.
Fuck yeah. Nah, that's what's up.
But I mean, you need more people like that. I don't know.
You made a point though, going back on because you said something that really stuck with me just a few minutes ago. Social media is a disease. I did a video on my YouTube channel. It was an episode of Let's Talk, and I was talking about comment sections. That, to me, that is probably one of the biggest issues that I have with like social media, because I'll see something like, I saw a trailer for a movie that I really wanted to see.
Right.
I forget what it was. I think it was Stephen King's new movie, The Monkey.
The Monkey. It was all right, by the way, but go ahead.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
And that's right there. So I'm looking through the comment sections, and all I'm seeing is, oh shit, another Stephen King. Oh, another this, another that. And I'm like, and they're going, this is people going on the pages. Like, most of these movies have their own pages. So that means that somebody had to go on the page, look at the shit, and then, you know what? I'm going to leave a nasty comment in here.
Right.
About
I mean, you could almost say, like, the majority of them haven't even seen it. They're just going to go with what the status quo is.
Yeah.
I mean, just because everybody else thinks it sucks doesn't mean you have to think it sucks.
Right.
The thing about social media, and good or bad, we're all allowed to have our opinion, is it puts out too much negativity. I mean, it really does. You don't have very many people, and I think it's just the world today. You don't have too many people going on there going, wow, this was cool. Or, there were parts of it that were good, but, there were parts of it that sucked.
You don't have a lot of positive people either
well,
in the world.
I mean, what I'm saying, there's no gray area. It either completely fucking sucks or it's the greatest movie ever.
That's really it, too. Like, there's no neutral ground, and there's no such thing anymore as agreeing to disagree.
No, it's
when I was growing up, it used to be like just agree to disagree. Like, I've seen grown men get into debates, but at the end of the day, we just going to agree to disagree. No, nowadays it's like a fight to get the last word.
Right, and that's
fight to get, you know what I mean? And the comment, it's crazy. Social media is probably one of the places where it's the safest. I call them, me and my buddy Scott had a nickname for them, cell phone tough guys. People that look real tough behind the cell phone. Or
same thing as a keyboard warrior, yeah.
Yeah, that's basically it. Like, they'll go in the comments. I'm like, dude, it's real easy to talk shit about a person. I've seen folks leave nasty comments on my page.
What's the point, though?
You've never met me. Like, you gonna say this behind the screen. Like, dude, you don't know me. I'm passive, but I'm not as passive, like, as you think. Like, if you really want me to cross over back to the old me, I can.
Well, I think a big thing is with negativity and anger, it gives you a sense of empowerment.
It does. And definitely if you're doing it behind the phone in a safe place, you're in the comfort of your own home on a cell phone.
And again, you also got to consider the source. This is a little bit off, and you'll hear that from me a lot. As we're going down 10th Street, my girlfriend and I, and there's this kid that probably was 15 years old. And Lisa looks over at him. He goes, "What the fuck are you looking at?" And I just start laughing. I'm like, "Oh, wasn't that cute?"
Wow.
But, I mean, it's considered the source. This is a little 15-year-old kid trying to prove to an adult that he's a tough guy. You say that to the wrong person, they don't care what age you are. You're going to get fucked up.
Exactly, and be lucky that you a minor, because here's the thing, and I told my nieces this too, when I told my niece Haley when she first turned 18, I was like, look, you got to be careful, because a lot of shit you say and do, remember, you 18, you on big girl time now. Yep. So you fuck around with the wrong person.
You will find out.
It does not matter. Yeah, fuck around and you will find out. The minute you hit 18, bro, that's it.
And I remember that because when
you are legal.
Again, when I was a kid, I was bad, and it wasn't like I did anything extremely bad. Just like
the crazy thing is, like most minors nowadays, a lot of them know the law, like because once again, and this is one.
Well, yeah, he knew there was nothing we could do.
Yeah, because back then we didn't have a phone to look at and say, here's a number to child services.
Yeah.
Nowadays, these kids got cell phones at 12, and they can go on their phone and say, mom's mistreating me. How do you divorce your parents? Which is actually a thing, by the way.
That is pathetic.
And it's crazy. That's actually a real thing. There are people out there divorcing their parents. That blows my fucking mind, but it's real. But yeah, like technology nowadays, it's more bad than good, in my opinion.
And I was mentioning this to you, is I think for like an older generation, like Facebook, you can rekindle with people. You're like, oh my God, you know what happened to such and such? She was such a nice person in
Oh
high
yeah,
school.
reunite with old friends.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, definitely.
But again, I've seen things where it was like, you go to Facebook to see someone you haven't talked to in 20 years and then 5 minutes later not care.
Yeah.
But in the concept of children, okay, you go on there, you play some games. I'm like, you shouldn't have to go on Facebook to talk to your friends.
No.
I mean, there's, like, it's called reality. And then back to the anxiety thing is you're sitting there, you're staring at a phone, you're staring at your computer, whatever. You're causing yourself anxiety because the minute you come out of fantasy land, you're like, oh shit. I mean, that's sudden, you know.
Because a lot of people, that's the thing, and there's the line between like reality and
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That shit is just damn near like crossed.
Right.
Not crossed, but
It's all like a whole different world.
yeah. That's basically it too. Like it's just a whole different fucking world.
Now here we go. I believe I have a friend, again, my brother Rob, that cell phones, you know, they always talk about, oh, they're going to inject chips in us, and they inject chips in us so
Right.
they can control us and watch us. They gave us a chip.
Yep.
How often do you find yourself going, and there's nothing important?
Mm-hmm.
They, you know, whatever the powers to be, the government, whatever, again, I don't want to go in that direction. They got you by the balls. You got an addiction.
Hell yeah.
I mean, this is all this is. This is a fucking addiction.
Hell yeah, man.
I mean, I like back in the day when you called people and said, hey, how's it going? You know, want to meet up and do something.
Yeah. That's it right there. Like, dude, that's what we would have to do. You didn't have like text messaging. Like nowadays, everybody's texting. Everybody's freaking texting.
Well, it's because we come to the society where nobody wants to deal with each other. Nobody wants to talk to each other. It's
Yeah.
a matter of communication and social interaction.
Yep. That's it too.
You know, it was easy to be like, hey, you know, Brandon, let's go out and, you know, vandalize the train, whatever, you know, things I've been doing as a kid. Now it's just like, hey, what are you doing? I'm sitting here, you know, playing Fortnite. Nothing wrong with that. I played some games of Fortnite myself.
I once said that like this is basically like adult friendships in a nutshell. It's basically just sending each other memes.
Yeah, and I mean, it really is ridiculous. I mean, like,
Yeah.
haha, this is funny, okay.
Yeah, that's really it. Like that's really all the. And it's sad that a lot of us have come to that because I don't know if it's just we've gotten too lazy to go out and play anymore. We've gotten too old, or just that's basically what it is. It's just
Well, that's what I mean. Even like all the game systems come out, there's all these fun systems and all these fun games. They bore me. I'm so used to, you know, the old stuff. Yeah.
dude, I thought it was just me. Man, I can't tell you the last time I turned on my PS4 to play a video game. And the last time I did, I turned it on and I played for maybe 10 minutes and I got bored and turned it off.
Well, you know what I'll do is like I'll go and play my game system, 2 minutes of something new, and then I'll go back and buy my remaster games. I'll be like, Art, this is what I played when a kid. Excuse me for a minute, I'll be right back. You talk shit about me.
Yeah.
You make sure you talk shit, I'll be right
Yep,
back.
yep.
Yep. Sorry about this.
Yep, David's got to take a shit.
No, I don't.
Yep. That's what Popeye's shit gonna do to you.
Get running your mouth, I'll piss on your seat.
You do that every time you come over.
That's so you can remember I was there.
Oh shit.
Now, this is something personal that I actually like to touch base on this.
Yeah.
Is iPad moms or iPad children. I absolutely hate these fucking people that I saw this at the Sam's Club and it pissed me off so bad I want to bitch smack this lady. Won't do that, go to jail. She's sitting there with her 2-year-old fucking kid and, you know, iPad, whatever, tablet.
Yeah.
And this little kid is just sitting there dicking with her and she's sitting there, you know, doing her shit. I'm like, that is not how you interact with your children.
But that's crazy. It's crazy because like that's become the norm. That's become the modern day thing. So many people, they'll have kids and like the most attention. I've noticed the most attention that most mothers and fathers will spend with their kids, like from a physical perspective, is when they're babies. The minute they hit like three
is the
and they're
age.
old enough, that's the iPad age. That's the little
Yeah,
iPad
but like I
age
said,
right there.
this kid couldn't have been one
And
or
they'll
two.
buy them those, but that's the thing. Once they're old enough to play the hit one of these, they get them those, and it's like, you know what? I'm gonna get them an iPad. Here, stay busy and do this while mommy texts her friend, Or stay busy and do this while, daddy does
So
this.
check this out. Back to the addiction thing. You got a 3-year-old kid, you put an iPad from an cell phone, you just created an addiction.
Yep.
I mean, I understand if, like you go on there and they're watching something educational.
Yeah.
Here's your circle squares, here's your,
Right.
your colors and everything. That's cool. I mean, they can learn as you go. But if you're repeatedly watching, I ripped my pants again, that's fucking stupid. Your kids aren't learning. I mean, I love SpongeBob like the next guy, but there's a time and a place for everything.
Right. Like actually communicate and interact with your kids. Seriously, like that's what we need a lot more of that. But I've come to really see something nowadays that's becoming a trending thing. We are in an era that I like to call the separated parent household. And I'm explaining.
That's been all through the 80s, man.
But
I know what you mean.
now it's like it's amplified damn near to the point where it's become. Back in the 80s, though, it was like shit that people actually tried to work on. Nowadays, it's like super amplified where it's just you live in a household where you have 2 parents, mom, dad. But at the same time, mom and dad aren't on the same page. So what happens when the 2 heads of the household are not on the same page, but they're trying to raise a family?
Mom, dad said this.
Dad did this. I don't get my way from dad, so I'm going to go to mom. I don't get my way from mom, so I'm going to go to dad.
And kids
then shit's boil up.
And kids are not stupid. They will fucking play you.
And they will play that shit. Then let's not look past this. You have the divorced parent household where you have one kid going from this house, then they're going to that house. And you have one parent thinking, well, I raised him better than you, so he needs to spend more time with me. Well, I raised him better than you, so he needs to spend more time with me.
And the thing
it's
not a competition.
Yeah, parenting should not be parenting should not be a competition.
I raised her better than you. I raised
if y'all can't, and this is the reason why, and I'm gonna sound very controversial for saying this shit, but I'm gonna say it anyway. This is why we have a lot of confused children. What do I mean by confused children? Kids that don't know which direction to go to. That's why you got so many kids that are like, here's my question. How are you 10 years old and already you're bisexual? You're 10 years old.
I don't want to go this.
How do you know that?
I don't.
How do you know
I
you
didn't
are?
want to go this direction, but
like, how do you know that at 10?
But I mean, even like, and again, this is not from experience, or I don't think it was. When you're younger, you don't know what you want.
Exactly.
I mean,
that's
and
the
like,
thing.
I mean, the thing
you
is,
can't
like,
figure that out at 10 years old.
And you're shoving that in their fucking face that you should be a girl, you should be a boy, dude. You're at the age where, okay, I want to be with my bro. Girls have cooties.
That's it, dude. Whatever, and that's the thing. Like when we were growing up, we had what I call was the awkward stage. We had the awkward stages of growing up, puberty.
And then you hit
talking
puberty.
to girl. But now all of a sudden I'm looking at girls and like, oh my god, what's that? Funny feeling down
that's
there?
puberty. You're like,
that's puberty. Oh shit, I got a boner in the middle of class.
Yeah, you're like,
you like girls.
Yeah, you're like, oh shit,
girls aren't so icky anymore. Now you want to get closer to them.
But I mean, here's the thing: there is nothing wrong with being gay. There isn't.
No.
All right, but don't force that upon your child.
Thank you. Thank you.
Really,
that's the biggest problem. Is so much shit is forced down these kids' throat. There's so many agendas that are getting forced down these kids' throat. Well, you should be this way because we're better, but at the same time be equal. That's not being equal. If you think you're better than me, we're not. How are we equal if you think you're better?
And I mean, in the long game, none of us are equal. None of us. I mean, you say individual equal. If you got this, you're automatically better than me. I mean,
and plus looking at it from and that's another thing is like looking at it from like a gender perspective too, because like this whole gender. Well, I've talked about this with so many people. Like, there's so many people. Well, men are better than women. Women are better than men. I'm like, let me tell you something right now. Y'all need to come to the conclusion of this. We need each other. Men need women just as much as women need men. We need each other. It goes back to the parenting thing, being a team. And that's one of the biggest problems of parenting is you got a wife that is a feminist.
Yeah.
How the hell is that going to work? Or you have, how's that going to work out where she's thinking, okay, well, you know what? Well, my way is better than yours. Or the dude's thinking, well, my way is better than yours.
Well,
now you got two. Now the parents are fighting.
And then you got this fun fact that we live in a society, and you can say whatever you want. We live in a patriarchal society where the men are always right. And I don't believe that. Don't think for a minute I believe that. I mean, my girlfriend is 1,000 times smarter than I am by any means. I mean, even, and I'm not religious at all, even the concept of God, what do we call him? He,
Yeah.
our Father. You know, think about that for a second.
But you gotta realize too, intelligence doesn't have a gender. There's
No.
going to be women that
No.
are smarter than men, and men that are smarter than women.
Right. Then why would you try to change your gender? Why? And you know what? I'll give you the answer. Why? Again, back to my brother Rob. Because everybody wants to feel special. Everybody wants their 15 minutes of fame.
Yep.
I had a therapist, and you know what she said to me? You're different, just like everybody else. Let that process for a second.
And this is shit that parents should tell their kids.
You're not special.
Yeah.
I mean, but
this is
but
a conversation that everyone should have.
But do something in life to make yourself special. Do something to help people. And again, there's no such thing as a bad job out there. If you're working, you're working.
Yep.
I mean, but doctors, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, even the fucking mailman, dude.
Yep.
We all need to do our thing. Don't sit around and think anybody owes you anything. You have no entitlement. You have none.
This world don't owe you shit.
No.
It does not owe you a damn thing. And these are conversations that I feel all people should have with their kids when they reach a certain age. Because my mom had this conversation with me when I was a teenager. Before I even hit 18, she gave me the reality. Listen, I know you're not 18 yet, but here's the reality. When you're in this house, you're either doing one of two things. You're either working to get money or you're working to get an education. If you're living under this roof.
Right.
And you don't want to do that, you get the fuck out, you move out, get your own place, and you can establish your own.
Right. And I mean, I'm not going to lie at all, because my way of parenting was, I don't think there's any such thing as a wrong or right way. I mean,
There's not.
If you neglect your kids, that's something else. If you beat your kids, but that's, abuse. What I did with my daughter is I basically let her run and do whatever she wanted. I didn't let her do stupid shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, she's not like bad baby or cast me outside girl, or she had a stripper pole inside my house or anything.
Yeah.
But I let her make her own decisions. And I do give her some restrictions. Now the way I was raised was, neglected a little bit here and there. I came from, a family where my grandma raised me, and
Right.
I had, aunt and uncle, and they were all on drugs and shit. They were all like that. I mean, and this is stuff that I see all the time.
Right.
So, and I didn't have a lot. I was dirt ass poor. I mean, we really were. My grandpa worked at the mill for fucking 44 years, and we didn't have a damn dime to show for it. It taught me how to be. And I think we're also, like everybody in this generation, is want to give my kids what they want. Want to give my kids what. There's a limitation to that.
Yeah.
Direct them with your life experiences.
Well, yeah, because you obviously want to give your kids more than what you had.
Yeah.
There's certain things in parenting that should be basic. And I feel that you should always want your kids to grow up better than you. You should always want and a lot of people may disagree, but I would say you should want your kids to be better than you in some kind of way.
Absolutely.
Because that's an accomplishment to you as a parent.
Right.
You raise something that it is not only smarter than you, better than you. They now can go out there and get the things that you were never able to get.
Right. And I'm not going to sit here and pat myself on the back saying, hey, I did a great job. But I have a high school diploma.
Yeah.
I dropped out of the police academy, and I basically fucked around with my life. Ended up on SSI, because I've had a lot of emotional issues like that. It's a completely different video.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter is on her 3rd year of college.
There you go.
She has a job. She has a little bit of anxiety, but who doesn't?
And that's an example right there of a parent wanting their kid to be better, more successful.
Right.
And she's going to be.
And
she's on the road to that.
And if in some time that she would fuck up, even when she's younger, if she would fuck up, as long as she was asking me for help, I would be there to pick her up.
Yeah.
I would try to be supportive. Not like cynical, not cynical, what's the term I'm looking for, where
you're not going to coddle.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking more talk down to them.
You're not going to shit on them just for making
like,
a mistake.
what the fuck you got,
Right.
You got a D.
Yeah.
I would say things to my daughter like, you can do better next time. I'll help you. We'll do better. I know you can do better.
Yeah.
She gets an F. It's like, all right, you know what? You messed up a little bit, but this can be fixed. Anything can be fixed with a little bit of effort.
Yep.
But that's just it.
And I feel like, and that's the thing too, is a lot of people lose their willingness to learn. And I think a willingness to learn is one of the most important things that you have to have. Even when you're grown up and you're out of school and you got your degree and all this and that. Let me tell you something. You are never too old to learn new things in life.
Oh,
And
you're just hitting the precipice when you graduate,
Once
dude.
and she's gonna make mistakes.
Yeah.
You're gonna make mistakes, dude. You can be in your 40s and 50s. You're still gonna make mistakes
And
in your life.
and
as long as you breathing on this earth and you still going out there and experiencing, you gonna fuck up.
And it's hard.
Yep.
Because I'm 47, my daughter is 21.
Yeah.
And I want to help her as much as I can, but sometimes you gotta let them go.
Well,
Make their own
doubt.
decision. I know
Yeah,
it fucking sucks. It sucks as an adult. It sucks as a parent that you give them that power up.
But at the end of the day, this is what you raised them to do.
Right.
You help them develop a sense of common sense, a sense of, street wisdom, not just you can learn as much as you can out of a book. Anybody can be book smart, but if you have no common sense, you're not going to make it in this
Well,
world.
it's like that even with a therapist. I always say this with therapists. You have a therapist, they come in, they, help you, blah, blah, blah. They got all their book knowledge. Unless, and I believe this, unless you have had some type of tragedy, travesty, anything bad happen to you, anything bad to you, you can't relate. You can't come in there with book smart.
Well, no. I mean, how are you going to be what therapist do you know has had a perfect life? Most therapists have therapists of their own.
What person do you know has had a
That's
perfect
what I'm saying. Like, most people, that's the thing. Teachers, therapists, doctors, whoever. A lot of them have probably had some pretty struggling lives. They've been through some shit. That's why a lot of them can talk to you on like a personal level. Like, Lo, you know what? Off record, I'm going to tell you this right now. When you hear that, you know they're about to tell you something real. This is off the record, but I'm going to tell you this right now. I've had doctors tell me this. I've had teachers tell me this. When I was in my second year in college, and this is when I knew that college really wasn't for me. You know who told me this? My English teacher. He sat me down because I was fucking up bad. And I was really trying. But it just wasn't for me. I wasn't realizing
No, and it's not. It's not.
And he looked me square in the face. He's like, I'm going to tell you something right now. Don't take this as an insult. And he asked me all the questions like, well, what are you looking for here? And I gave my answers. And he broke it down. And he was like, you know what? I'm going to tell you this right now. And I don't want you to take this as an insult. I don't think college is for you.
And it's good that you have somebody that's honest with you.
He told me that straight up. He was one of the most honest teachers that I ever had.
And that is rare.
And a year later, he was damn sure right, because I dropped out and I'm like, you know what, Mom? I'm done with school. I'm going to just start working. I gave it a try. I hope that you guys are proud. You know what she said to me? She's like, you know what? You tried. I am proud of you.
Right.
But, hey, got to start working.
Right.
Back to reality
that's
now.
a good mother,
what?
though.
Hell yeah, back to reality. Like, that's the thing. She was never the type to just, like you said, to like shit on somebody for making a mistake. Absolutely not. That's where I get a lot of my positivity from. I've had people tell me, like, why are you so positive? Why are you so positive about everything? I'm like, dude, there's happiness and there's contentment. And I always explain people the difference between happiness and contentment. Because everybody wants to be happy.
And there's not a lot of people that understand this line.
Exactly.
So I want to hear this.
A lot of people want to be happy all the time. Like, I want to be happy. I want to get married because I want to be happy. I want to make money because I want to be happy. I'm like, none of this stuff is going to buy you happiness. Nobody else. There's nobody in your life that can make you happy.
Except you.
And I'm explaining it. Yep.
Except you.
Exactly.
Yep.
Nobody in your life can make you happy. They will encourage you to be happy. They will do things to make you
and you
feel
can get
happy.
suggestions.
You can get suggestions. But here's the thing. I'm going to explain what contentment is. And I've explained it on my YouTube channel, what comfortable contentment is. Comfortable contentment is a sense of satisfaction. It's a sense of knowing you're not going to have good days all the time. You're not going to have bad days all the time. Every day is 24 hours. You mean to tell me just because you had a bad day at work, dude, that's 8 hours. That's 8 hours out of 24. 8 hours. You have 16 hours left in the day. You're going to dwell on 8 hours?
Don't let this shit bother.
8 fucking hours. You have a whole day to make the rest of your day count for something.
Or do you know what contentment is? You don't got to be in this state of adulation where you're fucking happy all the time. I think
no.
Do you know what contentment is? Look at this shit. I got a roof over my head. I got food in the fucking fridge.
And that's the shit that you have to look at when you're having a bad day. Mm-hmm. You had one bad moment with somebody or one bad incident. You had an altercation. That's one moment. One moment out your life that
makes you not appreciate everything. You focus in on that. That's all you focus on.
You're going to dwell, exactly. You're going to dwell on that. You're going to dwell on one thing. I've seen people do that.
And it's hard because things that are negative hit you so much harder than things that are positive.
Yeah.
I mean, they really do.
And that exactly, because how many times you've heard people talk about, well, out of all the right things that I've done, the only thing they've noticed is the wrong things.
Right. I mean, you could have, like, someone calls you a fucking asshole. You walk around and you go, what did I do that they call me an asshole?
Yeah. You're going to think about that. And that's where your anxiety starts kicking in.
Now, what you got to do is something my grandma used to say. Consider the source. We had a little kid, or I told you a little kid that, told my girlfriend, what the fuck are you looking at? And I laughed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're a 15-year-old little kid. You're walking with no friends. And I mean, I don't want to be critical like that, but... And I even thought maybe this kid needed a hug. I mean, seriously.
The majority of people, and that's probably a kid that, once again, is an example of somebody trying to hurt you. Here's what I say about hurt people. Hurt people hurt people. Here's what I mean by that. Most of the people that have hurt you in your life, they've been hurt themselves.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
they are battling their own shit, and instead of taking a smart route, which is trying to figure out the source of your own problems, you're going to take out your problems on somebody else.
Well, that's back to even bad parenting, and I'm not saying that's 100% of the time, but if you got a father, like I said, I lived in Sharpsville, and that was football. I mean, fucking football time. You know, if you were on the football team, if you were a wrestler, you could get away with fucking whatever you wanted, right? Now, the thing is, you got that parent that's like, you got to be the best. You got to be the best. You got to play football good. Screaming at you.
Yep.
Why do you think you're being bullied? Now, there's no justification for being bullied. Again, consider the source.
Always consider the source.
I mean, I lost a job one time because the manager was being an asshole to me.
Yep.
I go home and I'm upset, and my grandma goes, how do you know his wife didn't burn his eggs that morning?
Yeah.
I mean, you got to think into it. You got to go, Yeah, and then by doing that, you're sitting there being pissed off, and you're like, why'd they call me an asshole? Why'd they call me an asshole?
Always know this, man. You one bad day away from being the person that hurt you.
Right. They completely forgot about you.
Yep.
You're sitting there with your head, and they're like...
That's what I mean. Most of these people that hurt you, that talk shit about you, and I tell people this all the time. You're dwelling on this shit. You're dwelling on your boss shitting on you. You know what your boss is doing? Your boss is at home right now eating steak dinner.
Yeah, he doesn't care about you.
He don't care. You are a number. That's the thing about when you realize that in the workforce, that you are just a number, this will make I'll tell people, this will make your work day so much easier. Go in, get your money, get your paycheck, clock the fuck out, and go home.
And fun fact, these people aren't your friend.
No.
You could be civil with them, you could be nice to them, you could bullshit a couple things about your life. You're not going to go out and have a couple drinks with them.
Right.
Because then, you open up a whole other can of worms. You don't want these people at your job, unless they're extremely nice and you trust them, to know what you're doing outside of work. You are not going there to hang out. You're going to
now you can make friends. Like I've had most of my friends I've met from work. Now we talking about like coworkers. Yeah, I've hung out with coworkers.
Right.
But I'm talking about like now. Here's my thing. Here's what I feel. If you're my boss, you're not my friend.
Not at all.
That's how I feel. And I had another friend tell me the same thing. If you are a supervisor, if you are in any kind of supervisor work position, this is business now. You are not my friend. We will joke at work, but I'm not going to let you that deep into my personal life, because at the end of the day, you still kind of connected with the higher ups.
Right. And here's a scary...
And who's to say, like, this shit won't be used against me?
Now, here's a scary fact. That unless you're big on the food chain, no matter what you are, no matter what you think about yourself, at a job, you are expendable.
Absolutely. And the higher you are up, the more expendable you are.
Right. So this is why we go to work, we do our job, and we come home.
That's it.
Okay, if someone shits on you and says, oh, you fucked this up, you go, thank you, sir, you go back, and you try to do your job better.
You know the sad thing, too, though, I've noticed, is that most of the people that are like that they go to work, they clock in, they do their job, they clock out and go home, these are always the people that are targeted. Because they're not... You want to know why? Because they're not the kiss asses. They're not the ones that go in there and smile every day and kiss their boss's ass. Yeah. They go to work. And it's so sad nowadays that you can't go to a job and just work. Why do I have to go to a job and be a part of somebody's gossip? Why do I have to go to a job and suck my boss's dick for 8 hours? Why do I have to go to a job and do that? Why can't I go to a job and just do my fucking job?
What do I call it? What have I been calling it? The high school mentality.
It literally
never fucking ends.
No,
it never ends.
It never ends, and that shit never works. And people wonder why most jobs have such high turnover rates.
Yeah.
Because you get people that get sick of that shit. Dude, I can't tell you how many days I've been at work where during lunch break I've been on Indeed. I'll be on Indeed looking
Yeah,
for
I
jobs.
mean, even my girlfriend, I'm not going to mention her
Yeah.
name. She does the same thing.
Because even if it's a job that I enjoy, I'm always looking for the next level. I'm always looking for something better because at the end of the day, there's always something better out there.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean, well, I'm going to quit my job because I had one bad
And
day.
then sometimes that's hard because it's know your enemy.
Yeah.
Or I got to go to, I have this boss that's an asshole.
Yep.
I go to work. This is what I expect.
Yep.
My boss is going to be an asshole, but it's like learned
Get
abuse.
through it. Yeah,
it's
you
like
got-
learned abuse.
Exactly. It's like, dude, sometimes you really gotta just, man. What was that quote on The Walking Dead? It was one of my favorite quotes, man. If you gotta eat shit, it's best not to nibble.
Yeah.
Bite, chew, swallow,
swallow.
repeat.
Yep.
That's it. That's all you do. And once again, bad day at work, dude, it's 8 hours out of 24. That means you have 16 hours of your life to do something.
But again, nobody wants to leave the job going, what did I do wrong? What did the boss say?
And I've had like friends that have had that, like they've lost their job. It's like, what did I do to lose my job? And I genuinely do feel bad, but I try to encourage them. Like, listen, man, that might have been one of the best things to happen to you because now there's other.
There's always
opportunities
bigger,
out there.
better things.
Yes, there's always more money out there. There's always better jobs out there.
Do you know what? I have this individual that I've seen on TV. I don't know who he is, and I have the utmost respect for him. What he is a homeless person, was a homeless person.
Yeah.
The man got a job, not anything big, spectacular, janitor,
Yeah.
And I'm not downgrading anybody that has janitor. A job is a fucking job.
That's basically it too.
This guy, what he does is he pays his rent, he pays his bills, and he gives the rest to charity. That's an appreciation of your life.
Hell yeah, man.
That is an appreciation of life right there.
Because that's what I'm talking. Yeah, because not only are you working to support yourself, but you're also taking the rest of your day. Once again, 24 hours, 8 hours. You're taking the rest of that 16 hours and you're doing something.
You're giving back.
You're giving back. That's why I have a secondary channel called Eric the Voice, which I like to do motivational
I've seen it,
talks.
and it is an amazing channel.
And there's reason I tell people ask like, well, why did you come up with that channel? I'm like, let me tell you something, man. If you can change one life per day, it doesn't matter. Like
One life at all.
Yes, and I'm not worried about like the viewers or the subscribers. It doesn't matter how many people watch it. All I know is that those people that have watched it, they probably took something from that.
Right, I mean,
they probably took something
I mean,
positive
it's
from that.
even like
it's
doing
probably
this.
something that they needed to hear. I like telling people stuff that they need to hear.
Right.
Stuff that they probably don't hear from other people. They don't hear from their boss.
And I mean, even
they
like-
don't hear from their friends or family.
Right. I mean, I like even like this. I don't give two shits if you don't like it. But if you go out there with a little bit, watch this video and you leave a little bit more incited,
Yep.
you have a little bit of, oh yeah, you're right,
Yeah.
we live in this society where it's high school,
Yep.
or, I really shouldn't be giving my kid an iPad at fucking 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Other than that, I don't care. I mean, I'm putting out as much positive energy as I
Yep.
can.
And you know what's crazy? Like, because I always end my videos with, I'm proud of you. There's such an importance behind those 4 words because a lot of us don't hear that every single day. We don't hear it. Sometimes we don't hear it at all, whether it be from loved ones, friends. Sometimes I'm proud of you. That phrase is stronger than I love you a lot of times. You can say you love somebody. I love you. I love you. I love you.
But saying you're
but
proud.
to really look at somebody and say, I'm proud of you. Well, I told somebody that. I told a friend that. I was like, I'm proud. He's like, why are you proud of me? Because you're getting up and you doing this every day.
Well, that's what I mean. You
getting
say-
up and you getting off your ass and you doing this
There-
shit every day.
there
You're doing
is
something
no-
that you don't like, but you do to pay your bills.
Yeah. I mean, there is an abundance of things that you could say, I love you. I love you. You're my friend. We
Yeah.
do the, I care about you. But on the same end, I'm proud of you. Because
To
I'm
hear
proud
that,
of, to have
yeah,
someone go,
man.
why are you proud of me? All I need is that one thing. I'm
Hell
proud.
yeah.
I'm proud you go to work. I'm proud you got out of bed this morning.
Yeah.
Doing the goddamn dishes, man. Come on.
Yep.
Because there are a lot of people that are lazy.
We all get up and we do shit that we don't like to do. If you think anybody likes working 9 to 5 or even 10, 12-hour shifts,
Yeah.
you think people like working 10, 12-hour shifts, you out your mind. But they do it because they know they need to do it.
Right. And it's, back to you're the same, or you're different like everybody else, man.
Yep.
We all put one shoe on a foot at a time, and if
That's
you do
it.
you do it 2 feet at a time, you will impress the shit out of me. You will.
I mean, if you can do that, then that's a.
I mean,
a
jump
feat
the fuck
there.
up and slide your feet in, dude.
Hell yeah, that is a feat right there. But yeah, man.
But I mean,
serious.
one of my biggest things right now is I think everybody deserves love, at least a little bit of love.
Yes.
Or
Yes.
I don't want to say deserves. I want to say needs. Or you just need that one person to say I care about you. Say I'm proud of you.
That's what I mean. And like sometimes, and I tell people, sometimes the best type of compliments you can hear are from total strangers. People that you don't know. Like you might have did something and a total stranger saw it and they walk up to you and say, "Hey man, I heard you talking about that the other day.
Exactly.
Man, that was good, man. That was really good."
Then
they don't even know you. So when you getting stuff like that from people that you don't know, that's how you know you made a difference.
Then you have
because
people,
it's an unbiased opinion.
But then you have people like me that can't be serious about shit. And sometimes we're going to go off on a little bit of Evil Dave here. Where this guy comes up to my girlfriend where sheets. I'm standing by, he goes like this. And he's like, "You look like a painting." He goes, "You're beautiful." And I go, "That's a guy." I was like, "That's a dude in drag, man." And the guy was...
That's how you know, man. That's how you know you love somebody.
Yeah. But I mean, like, he's so beautiful. And I'm like, how dare you say something nice about my girlfriend? This is my dude.
Folks, we could really go in depth, and I think we are. Like, for those that don't know Dave is the type of person that, like, and you can ask our buddies Matt, Jason, we've gotten texts at like 1 or 2 in the morning about some shit that we really didn't need to
like,
hear.
"Hey guys, I just had sex. What are you doing?" Like, "Dave, I'm sleeping. Fuck off, man."
No, I remember the first time I got that, I think it was like 3 in the morning, and I forget what it was. But you had messaged me, and I forget.
It was one of those, I said, "I finished," or some shit like that.
I think it was like, "Hey man, I finished," and I rolled over and I responded. I'm like, "That's great. I got to go back to sleep now because I got to work in the morning."
So you just contradicted yourself. You should have said, "I'm proud of you."
I didn't, and I probably should have. And then, you know what? That's an example of how he didn't get that "I'm proud of you," and I kind of feel bad about that.
No, I don't care.
But, oh shit!
But like like I was telling you about I was going to get the blood work.
Yeah.
Right? You heard the story already where I come in and "Hey, how you doing? Good. Hey, how you doing? Good. How's your day? Good, good, good." I come up and the lady's like, "How you doing?" And I go, "Grandma just got hit by a train." And she looks at me. She's like, "Why are you here?" And I look at her. I go, "I'm just fucking with you, dude. I thought maybe you got sick of hearing." "Yeah, good.
Oh,
great."
God,
and she was
fucking
she
funny.
was laughing so hard.
My goal, hey y'all, you know what? Y'all need to do that every time you go back into work on Monday. Your boss asks you, "How was your weekend?" My grandma got hit by a train.
Right. Just fuck with me. Be like, "I got a fucking 8-ball of Coke and some hookers. What'd you do?"
Actually, sounds really good right about
It does.
But
Butthole and all. But anyway.
oh man.
But I mean, sometimes you got to throw people for a loop, and for the most part, that's one of those things I like to do is do obscure things to make people smile.
But it worked. That's another example though of how, like, dude, if you change one life a day,
By making them happy,
that
smile.
exactly.
They go home and be like, "Dude told me his grandma got eaten by a bear."
You're gonna be part of somebody's dinner conversation. Yo, I just met this dude named Dave, man. He just told me about how he licked his girlfriend's asshole.
Yeah, and like,
I've never met him before.
and
but I
it
met
was,
him outside
and
the
then he
gas
told her.
station.
Then he told her it was her privilege.
It was her privilege. And well, you know what? Now you part of a dinner conversation. That legacy just gonna live on,
And
man.
to be honesty, that wasn't my girlfriend and me. That was a good friend of mine. Okay, I'm gonna tell you the story, Eric. You've heard it a bunch of
Please
times.
say, yep. Oh,
You got to hear the story. I got a friend. All right, I got this friend. I'm playing pool with my brother Rob, and my good friend, we'll call him Alfred, is there. All right, and we're sitting there, and we're just having a plain conversation. My friend Alfred goes, "Yeah, I had this chick lick my asshole, and it was her privilege without a fucking beat, without a beat." Like, this is a casual conversation that everybody fucking says. And I look at my buddy Rob, and I go, "What the fuck did he just say?"
Oh my God! I'd have loved to have been a fly on the wall.
So
hearing
so
that
it's
shit,
so it's
man.
a year later. I'm looking at him. And I go, "Alfred," I go, "What the fuck was the story? What was that story you told me?" I go, "Did you tell me you licked her asshole and it was her privilege, or she licked your asshole?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, she said she wanted to lick as many assholes as she could."
Oh God!
And the first thing I thought of, that's a keeper. Take her home to mom.
If that ain't something you could bring home to your mama, I don't know what it is. That's wifey material.
That's like my dream girl. But he goes, "She said she wanted to see how many assholes she could lick." So he volunteered, and he goes, "It was her privilege." And I go, All right. Oh, I didn't tell you this.
Here's the question though: what number was he then? Out of all the assholes, was he lucky number 20 or?
I don't know, man. I don't think it
I
mattered.
would-
I don't think it was matters.
That's me. I would want to ask
They
afterwards.
weren't
Like,
kidding.
you know what? You licked this many. What number am I? Just out of
have you made it
curiosity,
to your
if
anus
you
yet?
can remember, what's the porn star? What's the one chick? I know you know who I'm talking about. The one porn star. She wants to break a record for how many. It's been on the internet.
I'm
I want to
thinking-
say
all I know is-
Lily Phillips. I think she
Dude,
wants to.
I hate to even know this. I know Jasmine St. Clair. I know Houston. I don't know who's after that.
I think her name's Lily Phillips. Like she wants to like see how many dudes she could fuck in a day, and I think her number was like 100 something. They made a whole
No, that Houston chick did 500 guys, dude.
Okay, they made whoever it was, they made a whole documentary about it. You imagine being that good of a whore that you have a fucking
No,
documentary?
could you imagine being the last fucking guy in there? You can only do this for so long, dude. He gets up to the fucking, hooker girl and he's got fucking forearms like this because he had to jerk it just to keep an erection for the last 4 fucking hours, okay?
That's what I mean. That's the thing. It's like how many of those dudes actually got to fucking finish?
Yeah, probably
That's
none.
that's what I'm saying, man. Because at that point, if I'm in a long line waiting to fuck a chick, it's like, all right, man. You know, and I think I'm just gonna go home.
And I mean, the other
I'm
thing
good, man.
is like, I don't want to be gross.
But then again, you came that far, so it's like I might as well
I
go through
drove
with it. So,
But the other thing, again, I'm being gross, is everything after one is going to be disgusting because are we cleaning that bitch out? Are we using rubbers? I mean, what's going on here?
yeah, because I mean, I don't know if you guys know, like,
is there a dude with a vacuum?
Real sex and porn sex. Come on, man. I mean, there's cleanups on both, but afterwards, it's like,
Plus,
all right.
she's not enjoying this. She's standing there while guys fucking her going, yeah!
Of course, she's not fucking it. I don't think she probably, out of all of those, I don't even know if I can give a number as to how many she actually enjoyed. Maybe the first one, because it's like, oh, we're doing this now.
Unless you're
maybe
a complete
the first
hoe.
one. Yeah. I mean, who fucking knows? But then I don't know how the fuck we went from positive thinking and then child parenting to how many dudes banged a chick.
All right, anyway, back to my buddy. Back to my buddy. All right, so get back to it. Alfred had his butthole licked, and he told me it was her privilege. And I'm like, how fucking arrogant, but at the same time, I'm envious. I'm like, how do you have the audacity to say it was your privilege to lick my asshole?
Oh my god, dude.
Then they're like, I told you, big hairy Italian guy. Bitch came out there with a goatee. It was a big old hairy butt.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the confidence that you need to have going into 2025.
You really do.
Somebody, like, when you look at your asshole next time you get out the shower, you look at your asshole in the mirror and say, you know what? It would be a privilege if somebody put their tongue on this shit.
Somebody wants to lick that.
Somebody wants
out
to
there
lick
wants
my
to,
ass.
It
And you
is.
know what?
It's
If
their
you do this,
fucking privilege.
this is your rite of passage right here.
Yep. You sick bitch.
Oh, shit. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, we hope that you enjoyed the very first episode of the AFNB Podcast. Tune in because there will be plenty more to come. I've been your host, Eric DeVoice. This has been my boy, David Johnson. And thank you so much for tuning in. And once again, always remember, AFNB, always forward, never back.
And keep your butthole clean.
Goddamn right.
Fucking A.
Peace.